Bryce Harper had a heated confrontation with the commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred. Apparently, Harper was unhappy that Rob Manfred was talking about salary cap in the Phillies clubhouse. Not just, of course, he's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, right? That's the conversation all over the place. But to bring that
he's kind of been doing like a tour, like going to all the teams. And I'm curious if they had been talking in the tunnel, or if they had been out on the field or in the dugout, if this would have gone the same way, or if it was just specifically like, you don't bring that bad energy into the clubhouse. I wonder if that's what it was, or if it was just like, if they were on the field, don't talk about it on the field, don't talk about it in our stadium, don't talk about it in our parking lot, don't talk about it in our state, right? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm curious about that. I'm curious what the reaction would have been. Anyway, go ahead.
All the reports indicate that it was in the clubhouse, which, as we know, is hallowed ground, right? It's a sacred space. So, and he, as the captain of that team, the sole leader, whatever, the emotional support, anger person.
Oh, one of them. You're not giving JT Realmuto enough credit there.
You're right.
They call him QB1 for a reason, Brig.
You're absolutely right. But I do think if you're going to get somebody to defend the turf, Bryce Harper's as good a guy as any to do that.
He's the guy.
Yeah. So here we go. Harper told Manfred, quote, "If you're talking about salary cap, you can get the expletive out of here." I inserted the expletive part. Harper continued by saying, "Players are not scared to lose 162 games if Major League Baseball attempts to implement a salary cap." Then bold words.
That's what I was trying to say. That's pretty bold. Pretty strategy, bold. Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't quote it anyway.
I got you. I almost quoted mine bold, but never mind. Doesn't matter. I've done it before and it didn't go well. So this is Bryce Harper's official position. He's against the salary cap, and he made it very clear to the commissioner of baseball, and with a veiled threat that we will just go ahead and tank games. We will just lose on purpose.
Well, no, not that. They're willing to not play, is what it is. Is if they end up.
I interpreted that differently.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought at first. I was like, that lose? No.
Because I can't see him doing that.
To lose,
makes no sense.
And miss out on 162 games. If that's what it comes out on, that they're willing to sit on an entire season.
That's crazy.
That's a non-starter for them.
Yeah. I will say that the conversation surrounding the collective bargaining agreement, what is on the table for negotiation, and the points of contention that we already know about. Every single person who has any knowledge is almost guaranteeing a lockout. They're saying there's going to be a lockout, but they're saying games will be missed and there will be a full strike. That is what is expected. So, baseball family, if this is the first you're hearing about it, then you need to be aware that there's a good chance, a very, very good chance, that the start of the 2026 baseball season will be delayed, maybe significantly.
And now there even is one, is what this sounds like.
And now this, that's exactly right. So it's a concerning statement. It's concerning for everyone, fans, players, owners, agents, everybody. Everybody's worried about this, all right? This is the first time I've heard a player acknowledge that they're willing to just wait this time. We've heard it before with other instances, but not this time. This is the first time I've heard. This time,
I think the players, so Nick Castellanos, I think, made a really good point about this. And I think this is the reason that we haven't heard this yet. Is because first he said that it's pretty intense, definitely passionate. But then he said, Rob seems to be in a pretty desperate place on how important it is to get this salary cap because he's floating the word lockout 2 years in advance of our collective bargaining agreement expiration. That's nothing to throw around. That's the same thing as me saying in a marriage, I think divorce is a possibility. It's probably going to happen. You just don't say those things. And I think that's why the players to this point haven't said it, because they don't want it. It's almost like they don't want to speak it into existence because they don't want to.
Right.
Like they don't want to miss out on 162 games, because there are some guys who, if they were to like some guys, that's their window. Their only window is those 162 games or sometime in that time, right?
Yep.
That they are at an age where they haven't made it. Now this is their shot. Then they'll either age or ability out and not get another shot. Like this is their only one. And for players to be like, we're willing to sit out this entire window despite the fact that it will make guys miss their time, to me, that's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
That is really huge. But also, I wonder, and I've been pro player a lot the last couple lockouts. Used to,
Me
I
too.
was pro owner, like, dude, just you're playing baseball. But now I understand more about it.
Yeah.
But I do wonder how much of it is the top, what is it, like the top 5% who earn like 90% of
Gobs.
the money in baseball?
Yeah.
Right? Like Harper, Trout, Soto, Otani, like there's only a handful of guys making that kind of money. And yes, they're willing to sit on 162 games. But our rookies, like, is Jacob Wilson willing to sit on 162 games? Is Cal Raleigh? Cal Raleigh could have another year like this. And if he's like, I have the potential to have 3 killer years in a row, yes, I'm under contract, but still, like,
Yeah.
am I willing to lose that momentum? I don't know. I don't know how many guys actually are, or if it's the player representatives, the top earners who are like, yeah, absolutely, we're willing to sit out. We're established. Of course we are. But the guys
Yeah.
fighting for their spots, I don't know. And that's always been the really hard part for me. It's how much actual representation is there in that unit, because there are some fractures and you see them come out during the walkouts.
So let me look through here. Your top 20 in terms of payroll. Do you want to look at payroll or do you want to look at cash, total cash value?
Let's look at payroll for now, because
payroll.
you can
That's
look
what I
at
thought.
because you can look at guys who would be missing out on what $35 million if that's the year that they miss.
Yep. So here are the top 20 contracts right now in Major League Baseball. Juan Soto, and this is in order. Juan Soto, Zach Wheeler, Jacob deGrom, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rendon, Carlos Correa, Mike Trout, Garrett Cole, Francisco Lindor, Jose Altuve, Glasnow and Seager are tied for 11th. Nolan Arenado and Giancarlo Stanton are tied for 13th. Then there's Rafi Devers, Corbin Burns, Pete Alonso, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani. That's the top 20. Okay. That takes us from 61.8 million all the way down to 28.2 million with Shohei Ohtani's payroll. Then the list through the 40th slot, JT Realmuto is number 40, 23.8 million. You go down to 60 and it's 20.2 million. That's Julio Rodriguez at number 60. The tied for 78th place, now we're getting down to $18 million per. That's Wilson Contreras, Zach Eflin, Rhys Hoskins. They each make 18,000 or 18 million.
What number was that?
That is 78. The three-way tie for number 78.
There are 750. Nope, that's not right. That's old.
Yep,
32 teams are 832 players.
Yep. 832 guys. Of the top 80 names, everybody's floating around $18 million. You got to get to 84 before you break under 18 million.
Okay. That's
so
pretty
you're
good,
right.
though.
Top 10%. You were right.
But yeah, top 10% is making most of the money, because you've got a lot of guys who are 1-2 million a year, which, don't get me wrong, that's nothing to
great.
like snub your nose at, right? Like, I do a lot to make that much money.
Yeah. We're not talking about it from an everyman perspective. That's not the.
No, it's all relative.
Yes,
but no, I don't know. It's interesting though to hear what players are willing to do, because all in the name of like future players, and I don't know. It's tough. It's really hard. And I've heard people say
is 760,000.
Yeah,
right?
Which is still a lot.
For the perspective, yeah.
You hear people talk about millionaires fighting with billionaires, and it's really hard to pick a side and have a lot of compassion. That's really what it comes down to for me.
I agree with that. I agree with that. My concern is the product on the field, and some of these things are going to get in the way of having a product on the field at all, let alone evaluating the quality of that product and, the entertainment value and how much fun it is for us, how interesting.
And I do think guys need to get taken care of, right? Like I would be more concerned with like the working conditions thing, because they've done a lot to improve that for the minor leaguers, which I think is awesome. It's really great. The
huge.
guys shouldn't be sleeping on the floor in the bus or on a board in the clubhouse because they don't have somewhere to stay because they can't afford an apartment and there are not enough host families. Like that stuff shouldn't be happening.
No, I agree.
But to be like, we don't want a salary cap because we want somebody else to make $1 billion over the course of their 13-year contract. Like, to me, that's too much.
Yeah. Right. Well, but on the flip side, we don't want we want a salary cap so that the owners groups can make $1 billion over the 7 to 10 years they own the team if they keep it, I just made 7 to 10 up randomly, but
I'm off the salary cap boat, by the way.
Yeah, tell me why.
Things are better in baseball without one than in other sports that have one.
Right.
Because anybody can win any given year, and I know that everybody's like complaining about the Dodgers, but look at them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any faith in that team going to the playoffs.
Nope.
So I don't think you need a salary cap. It's just these owners. It's the problem is you got cash poor owners who buy teams thinking they can do it, when in reality it's like having a boat. Yes, you can buy a boat, and I say this all the time. You can buy a boat, but how much is it going to cost you to upkeep and maintain that boat for the course of you having it? Do you have, say, $80,000 to go buy yourself a boat? Okay, sure. But are you going to have the extra $40,000 every year that it costs to maintain it and repair it when you need to? Because they say that BOAT stands for what? About another 1,000?
Yeah,
Something like
exactly.
That?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's going to take. And so this is an expensive hobby, because that's what it is. And owners feel like, I sometimes feel like, yeah, I can buy the team, but then they get in, they're like, there's a lot of extra money that goes into maintaining and running this team that I didn't have. We got to be cheap.
Yeah.
And I think that the Orioles are seeing that right now.
Exactly. That's the perfect example. Brand new ownership group. Well, and it makes you wonder what the Rays new ownership group knows or doesn't know, or how they're being advised, or whatever, the people that are looking to buy the Rays. It's all fascinating. I don't know.
Well, because the Orioles ownership group, the Orioles owner was saying just this year he's owned the team for what, maybe a year at this point.
Yeah,
and he's already saying we need a salary cap to be competitive. No, you don't. Get out of here with that.
Yep, you need a different hobby.
Yes,
that's what it is. Go build model trains.
Go join the country. Go to the country club. Play golf. It's way cheaper.
Yeah, it's way cheaper.